Hello, all the viewers. This is Yuvraj. You are watching Sports Tiger, and we've not been treated to the best of matches today. A bit boring, if I may say that. Very much contrasting to the last day we saw. कल हमने देखा 3 सुपर ओवर हुए एक दिन में और आज बिल्कुल ही जो मोमेंटम था पूरे टूर्नामेंट का जो एनर्जी यूफोरिया था वो डाई डाउन हो गया but again we of course we'll have these kind of matches and we're not complaining. It might look like that but we definitely not. First, let's look at the best tweets of the game, as we always do. First one is by Taran Janjua. He says 12 overs and no signs of spin yet. A bit baffling from CSK. A bit baffling considering RR had their two spinners, giving them 32 for two of 8 overs. Strange decisions yet again by them. Let me tell you, the two spinners for Rajasthan were Rahul Tewatia and Shreyas Gopal, and they were really economical. Uh, there were no flow of runs when they were bowling. It almost seemed like MCD had ordered the taps to close down and no water was flowing through them. So I think it's a good point. शुरू में आपको स्पिनर्स को देना चाहिए था क्योंकि स्पिनर्स ट्रायंगुलेट बेटर कर सकते हैं, कंट्रोल ला सकते हैं क्योंकि पिचेस they're dying down. They're cracking up. They're becoming drier and drier by the day as the tournament is progressing. And what you need is for your spinners to be at the top of their game, and you want to bring them early on into the innings. MS Dhoni, personally, he always likes to play around with his spinners. He has a liking towards spinners, but today, interestingly and surprisingly, he did not go to his spinners early on. It was a bit surprising, and that's why they allowed Jos Buttler and Steve Smith to carry on in that fashion as they did. Let's move on to the second tweet, of course. I still don't understand, having experienced opening batsmen like Jos Buttler and Sanju Samson, why your main power hitter Ben Stokes comes to open. He may do well in 3 out of 10 matches, but an experienced opener will do much better than that. And he has, of course, tagged the Rajasthan team. Uh, I agree with him to an extent because Ben Stokes is not a quintessential opener. Jos Buttler has become that in the last few years. Of course, today the batsmen are flexible. They can bat wherever you want, bat wherever you want them to. And Ben Stokes is another that kind of player. He can easily adjust, but जॉस बटलर आई थिंक नीड्स टू ओपन. इट्स एन एसेंशियल. जॉस बटलर अगर टीम में है तो मेरे हिसाब से जितना आप नीचे उन्हें खिलाएंगे उतना रिसोर्सेज वेस्ट होंगे जॉस बटलर जो हैं. So I think you should play him up the order. You should ideally open with Jos Buttler and Uthappa. That's the perfect combination for me right now. And let Ben Stokes play the role of a power hitter down the order. So Rutvij Trivedi, the second tweet was by him. I think I forgot to mention his name. Good observation. I think a very on the face of it observation, but I still think it needed to be addressed straight away. And let's now move to the scorecard. A very low scoring game. Uh, Chennai batted first. They got to 125. Today, Sam Curran opened again, 22 of 25, a 4 and a 6 for him. Faf du Plessis, Shane Watson, single digits. Ambati Rayudu, 13 of 19. He didn't get his timing right. MS Dhoni, 28 of 28. Another laboured innings from him. Ravindra Jadeja, another good innings, 35 of 30. Played an essential role, a vital role today as well. He's become more of a batsman now in this tournament than a bowler, which is, I don't know if that's a good sign or not. Kedar Jadhav, 4 of 7, not out. Rajasthan bowling card, fabulous bowling card for them. Jofra Archer, a wicket. Uh, Jofra Archer, Karthik Tyagi, Shreyas Gopal, and Rahul Tewatia sharing a wicket each. And the fifth wicket was, of course, a run out of MS Dhoni. Ankit Rajput, 1 over 8 runs. He didn't get to bowl his quota of 4 overs. Ben Stokes, 3 overs, 27, of course. Then came the turn of Rajasthan. They chased it down pretty comfortably. There were a lot of jitters at the start of their innings as they lost 3 quick wickets, but they eventually overcome the tide. They overcame the barrier rather. Ben Stokes, 19 of 11, 3 boundaries, started well but got out. Robin Uthappa, single digits. Sanju Samson, another duck. 6 innings now that he's been 7 innings now that he's failed to accumulate a successful innings. real real sign of worry for Rajasthan. They need to do something about this. Sanju Samson at number 3 not firing is a big loss. Steve Smith, 26 of 34, did what was exactly required of him. Didn't need to do much actually. Just had to amply support Jos Buttler at the other end. At the other end, just had to play the role of a sheet anchor. That's exactly what he did. Jos Buttler, 70 of 48, 4 boundaries and a couple of sixes, match-winning innings from him. A much-needed return to form for Jos Buttler. A lot of time at the crease today. This will hold him well for the future. Hold him in good stead for the future. Chennai bowling card, Deepak Chahar, identical figures from the last game, 4 overs, 18 for 2. So the last 8 overs, he's just yielded for 36 runs and picked up 4 wickets. He'll be really happy with his performance. Josh Hazelwood, good pick, really good pick today, 4 overs, 19 for 1. Ravindra Jadeja, 1.5 overs, 11 runs. Shardul Thakur, expensive, 4 overs, 34. Sam Curran, just 1 over, 6 runs. Piyush Chawla, on his comeback, really expensive, 3 overs, 32. Almost everything went wrong for Chennai. They're almost out of the race now. 3 मैचेस जीते हैं अब 10 मैचेस में से. अब क्या होने वाला है मैं आपको बताता हूँ. Now they'll be dependent on the performances of other teams. That's not the ideal situation to be in this tournament, because ideally you want yourself to perform and go to the playoffs based on your performances. But now they'll be dependent on others. Again, as I say, not an ideal situation to be in. Tough times for Chennai, but on the other hand, Rajasthan will be jubilant as they accumulate their 4th win of the tournament. 4 out of 10 for them. They need to win all their games. Chennai also need to win all their games to stay alive in this tournament. But again, even if they win 4, they don't have a guaranteed spot in those playoffs. So it'll be an interesting tournament. Sooner rather than later, we'll know which 4 teams will qualify. But we hope that it goes down to the last stage, to that last match of the league stage. Let's hope the tournament doesn't close out too early. Uh, we'll come back again tomorrow at 4 p.m., of course, with another match day live to discuss tomorrow's game. Till then, good night. Have a great night's sleep. Today's match, of course, Rajasthan won, and Chennai won't sleep well because they're almost out of the race. But what can we do? MS Dhoni's men haven't done well for themselves. 4 o'clock tomorrow. Stay tuned. Keep watching Sports Tiger. This is Yuvraj Dua signing off.